City of Durham is averaging more than 2 shootings a day this year. So you might think Durham police spend a lot of their time responding to violent crime calls. WRAL's Durham reporter Sarah Kruger teamed up with the WRAL data trackers for this investigation and found that is not the case.
WRAL data trackers got this list of more than 52,000 calls for service to Durham police. What we found is only about 6% of those are related to violence. So what is the most common call? That was a big surprise. More than 200 people have been shot in Durham this year, at least 43 killed. Stephen Sheely knows the pain. His brother, Wendell Ziegler, was murdered in Durham in 2019, and the case remains unsolved.
It's heartbreaking, but like again, I understand that the police are stretched to the limit.
The numbers show just how many types of calls officers get. WRAL data trackers found that of the 52,000 calls in 2020 and into 2021, the most common call was for towing cars. Police tell us they'll get involved with towing at the request of a resident or after a crash. Towing accounted for 16% of the calls. The second most common call was for larceny, the third for simple assault. Only 6% of calls were related to what the FBI classifies as violence, things like shootings, rapes, and robberies.
When you hear that number, does that surprise you?
The number of 6% to me is for the area of Durham seems to be a little low.
Mike Andrews was the sheriff in Durham from 2012 to 2018. He says the reported calls for violence may be low because of how crimes are recorded.
And I'll give you a hypothetical situation. There's a drive-by shooting into a house, and the house is occupied, but where the bullets hit the house, there was nobody in that part of the house. So that could be classified hypothetically has vandalism or damage to property. By law, it should be, shooting into an occupied dwelling.
Durham's mayor thinks the numbers are no surprise.
What we need our officers doing is working every day, all the time, to try to prevent and solve violent crimes.
It's those types of numbers that prompted Durham City Council to fund the Community Safety Department of unarmed responders for nonviolent calls. Sheely thinks that will help officers spend more time on cases like his brother's that may only account for 6% of calls, but much of the heartbreak.
There's a lot of people in the city that are still heartbroken because they have lost a loved one, someone that was dear to them.
Sarah Kruger, WRAL News, Durham.
That community safety department has already started filling some positions. Their goal is to get off the ground next year.